Hello, welcome once again to Leto's Law. I'm Steve Leto. I've gotten complaints about my mail episodes, so I'm letting you know right now this is a mail episode. I'm not going to number these as Leto's Law episodes, and I'm not going to send them to subscribers. So that's my compromise, because I've also gotten people who told me that they love the mail episodes. And so how can I make everyone happy? Turns out I can't. I also got an email from a guy today who said I repeat myself too often. And he actually said, he goes, Steve, do you ever listen to or watch your podcasts? And I thought to myself, maybe, should I do that? I wonder what I look like on camera. How would I figure that out, though? I mean, is there some way I could listen to myself or watch a video of myself? I don't know. Kind of weird. But anyways, yeah. So today's a mail episode. So I got a bunch of mail. And the reason I do these, like I said, I keep, every time I say this, I tell you, I'm astounded by how much mail I get. And I like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to discourage it. I'm simply pointing it out. But I get a lot of mail, and I'm happy to report that I enjoy all of it. So it's where many of my shirts came from. It's where this shirt came from. Okay, here we go. Analog mail on legal paper too. No less. Legal paper. Gotta like that. Dear Steve, I enjoy your YouTube channel, and it has become one of my morning rituals. I especially enjoy the local topics. I'm also a car guy currently restoring a 1966 Jaguar E-Type. That's my pronunciation. You might say Jaguar. I know, not American, but my father was into these cars, and so am I. Hey, you know something? When I talk about foreign cars, I'm just here to tell you that I happen to have a thing. I like American cars. But there's great foreign cars also. It's just whether you buy one as a daily driver. In Detroit, there was a time when it was not recommended. A couple quick topics I'd like your thoughts on. DUIs and statute of limitations. And he says he's a real person named Melvin. Melvin, actually, it's a good question, and I need to talk about the statute of limitations. I've brushed on it briefly a few times, but never in depth. So as I throw the mail everywhere, yes, I get junk mail in my PO box. Oh, but hey, you know something? Nothing's perfect in this world. Nothing is perfect in this world. Except for my audience. By the way, did I tell you I got an email from a guy who says I repeat myself too much? He asked me if I could possibly somehow maybe one day watch one of my videos or listen to one of my videos. And I thought to myself, I wonder how I could do that. It's a shirt. And it's a shirt that says, I love Canadian oil and gas. I believe there's a story behind this, which I will look up and get. And I seem to recall somebody sent me about something about this, and it was something to the effect of that somebody had worn that shirt into the gallery in a political place in Canada, and they got dragged out because it's like kind of like, hey, you can't make a political statement in here, and it's like, well, if you can't make a political statement in a house of politics, what can you do? So the Rapala, once again, I got to be careful waving that around. Here's something from Cincinnati, Ohio. And, I got a lot of friends in Ohio. I know a lot of people in Ohio. In football season, I will crack jokes about Ohio only because I am a Michigan fan. But I'll admit I'm also a fair weather Michigan fan, meaning that as soon as they lose, I'll stop talking about them. But, every year seems to start out fairly optimistically. But I digress. So inside this envelope is another envelope, much like the Chinese nesting dolls of yore. And this is from Jeff. And the inside envelope is addressed to Leto's Law Correspondence. By the way, it's me. I'm every department at Leto's Law. I'm correspondence, I'm production, I'm talent. And that's a phrase used loosely in the industry. And I'm also the director and producer of these shows, which means I probably should look into it, because I actually got an email from a guy who said I repeat myself too much. Hey Steve, just a note to thank you for your informative and humorous show on YouTube. I've been watching for a couple of years now and have really gained a lot. Very useful information. I have enclosed a t-shirt that reminds me of you when I saw it. Just a small gesture of appreciation. Yours truly, Jeff. And hey, gestures large or small, I appreciate them all. And this would be... yes. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. And of course, it's a reference to a song, and I was a disc jockey for a long period of time, and it's a wise thought. Since it's not an official episode of Leto's Law, it'll be numbered. This may not have been as important, but I know there's a few people right now who just stopped looking for it. I made them happy by pointing out where it was. Now, I do have a package here from another country, but we'll get to that last. Okay? Oh, and by the way, another show note. See, I really don't have any place to do show notes other than on an episode like today. But I am actually nearing the end of the 5th season of Leto's Law. And I think we're up right around now in the 480s or 490s of episode numbers for season 5. So I will next season start numbering in a way that makes sense. Because when I started this season, season 5, I didn't understand I was going to have over 400 or 500 episodes in one season. That's how it worked out. So starting next season, I will start at 6.001 and count up. And that's why I've had people tell me they're confused by the numbering. And it's only because I never had that many episodes in one season before. So it makes sense in my confusing little world. But like I said, I am, along with the show producer, I'm also the show archivist. And I'm also the guy who reads the email. I got an email just this morning from a guy who says I repeat myself. And by the way, you might say, Steve, did you respond to him? I said, yeah, stop listening. Greetings from down south, as in Toledo. I wanted to let you know, I set up a YouTube playlist almost every day for my workout, and at least one of your videos makes the list. I'm a bit of an artist. I thought it would be nice if you had some scalable graphics that could be used as icons for the Remember Milo and Wolfie. And since I made the graphics and t-shirts are your thing, I thought it'd be nice to see it on one. So I've included a XXL shirt and some stickers. Wolfie came out a little darker than I would have liked. If you like digital versions of the graphics, let me know via email below and I'll post some to my website for you to download. And this is Gary. Thank you for providing information in an enjoyable format. And you know something? If I didn't know better, I would have think that you'd actually met them. These won't photograph terribly well, I think, because of the colors. But that's Milo, and that's Wolfie, and you even got the shape of Wolfie's nose right. I called Wolfie, I don't believe you can name a dog before you meet it. And when I got Wolfie, and I don't know if I should use the word adopt or, he adopted me. But when Wolfie became part of my family, I noticed that his face was shaped a little differently than Milo's. Milo had a little bit more of a distinction on the feature on his nose there. And Wolfie's is more straight, and it looked more wolf-like to me. So that's one of the reasons that he got named Wolfie. And so it's funny because the coloring here on these two guys, Milo and Wolfie, is fantastic, as is the shape of their faces. So, and here we go. The stickers are enclosed here. I won't open that up yet, but I will open it in a moment. And, oh, heaven forbid a Toyota. Somebody else sent me a shirt that says, Remember Milo and Wolfie on it. And so here we are. I'll pull that off. And the shirt is Remember Milo and Wolfie. Leto's Law, letoslaw.com, and that is beautiful. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. And for those of you who are curious about these things, and I'll just tell you because I like to tell you things, I do actually have a professional graphic artist right now putting the finishing touches on a logo for the channel. For the longest time, I actually used what do we call it? But it was a logo of sorts for each season. Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, each have a slightly different thing, but it's always me just smiling with a background and a microphone in front of me. And I actually talked to a graphic artist about making a logo just for Leto's Law. More of a, logo type logo. So I'll be getting that pretty soon too. But thank you very much. It's a beautiful shirt, and I will wear it shortly. And there goes the lawnmower. I can never tell what this microphone's going to pick up, but I've had people tell me in the past, by the way, Steve, was it a lawnmower I heard go by? Yes, it was. So, but this right here is from somebody in Toronto. And by Toronto, I mean Canada. And it's got a customs declaration, which I could look at and cheat. And I could cheat by looking at that and tell you what's in the envelope, but that would be cheating. So I won't do that. But I've gotten stuff before from the UK, Australia, and I've actually gotten a book request from China. And I only mention it because I actually sent the guy a book in China. And I figured out what the postage was going to be. And I said, hey, I got news for you. Postage is going to be more in the book. And the guy said, well, I'm in China. I'd kind of like the book. And I said, well, if you're willing to pay for the shipping, I'll do it for you. And he did it. So, nothing surprises me anymore. I'm starting to think I need to find out if Rapala makes scissors. Because I don't want to damage what's inside here. Oh, there we go. Hey, who'da thunk? Hang on. We'll just see if we can't do this now. And there's a letter. Yeah, I know. OCD, what can I tell you? Looking inside. Dear Steve, approximately a year ago, the mighty algorithm suggested your channel to me on YouTube. Ever since, I've been a loyal viewer and listener. I've even caught up with most of your back catalog. Yeah, good luck with that. I checked this morning, it's like 750 uploads. I often listen on Google Play while walking the dog, although sometimes I have to view the episode on YouTube afterwards if you show something on screen. And today's one of those episodes, I suspect. I live in Toronto, therefore the specific laws you talk about typically do not have a direct impact on me. Nevertheless, I find your videos very informative, engaging, and just simply a pleasure to listen to. Your balanced views and insight are truly refreshing, especially when contrasted with the general downward spiral of public discourse. And that's the thing, is that a lot of what I'm talking about obviously does not apply to people in other countries, might not even apply to people in other states, but a lot of it is simply the thought process of just going through stuff, thinking about stuff, and learning how to think about stuff. I have people who tell me, they say, Steve, after you did a video on something or other in Michigan, I knew how to look it up in my state, and I now know the answer in my state, which, by the way, is different than it was in Michigan. Who'd have thunk it? A couple months ago, I had an idea for a custom t-shirt for you based on a phrase you coined. The ham sandwich anomaly. It took me a while to get it together, but it has finally materialized. I did the design and had it printed at a custom t-shirt shop in Toronto. Hopefully you get some joy out of it. Some joy. Oh, I'm going to be ecstatic. There are currently 2 in existence, as I made one for myself as well. All the best from a Canadian listener with Polish roots. And I apologize. I couldn't pronounce this name if I tried. I'm attaching a hard copy of an email I sent a while back just in case it got lost in your inbox, which is an amusing story from my past. And I do apologize because I don't recognize the story. I'm glancing at the headlines and a couple of things that are mentioned. And here's the thing, people. I have an email address listed at the end of this video. And I get 50 to 100 emails a day, sometimes more. And I try to glance at all of them. I really do. And if you ask me a direct question in a short email, I'll try to answer it, and I get to most of them. Once in a while, though, people will go to my website, letoslaw.com, and go to the information thing. It goes, you have questions, and they fill out the form, and they send me the form, and that form then gets bounced through a thing. No. Anyways, long story short, those come into a different email box. And I'm not looking there necessarily for stuff about this show. So occasionally, there are things that get lost in the shuffle. So if you send me an email and I don't respond to it, feel free to wait like a week or so and send me another email and say, hey, Steve, I'm really sorry. I sent you an email. Can you at least confirm that you got it? And I'll confirm that I got it. So I'll do what I can. But as for the ham sandwich anomaly, there you go, my friends. It's on a t-shirt now. That makes it real, and that makes it something that we need to actually treat like it's a real thing. The ham sandwich anomaly. For those of you who are curious about that, if you didn't see the episode, I was talking about how there are things out there that we know are untrue, but people will repeat them and believe them because it's a fun thought. And the ham sandwich anomaly, of course, is a reference to Mama Cass, who died. And in the press conference later, somebody asked about the condition of her room, and they said, well, we think she was about to eat lunch because on the table next to her was a ham sandwich. And that then got convoluted into people saying, oh, she choked on a ham sandwich. And that was never said by anybody in any position of authority. It was simply people taking 2 facts and trying to make them funnier. But, why people are trying to make jest of somebody who passed away, I don't know, but that's what happens in our society. So that's the ham sandwich anomaly, the idea that we will hear a story, we know it's not true, but you repeat it anyways. People do it all the time. So as for these shirts, one quick trip through the dryer and they'll join the collection. I've had several people ask me to do a video about my t-shirts, and I'm not sure how fun it'll be, but I might wheel the rack in here. I have 2 racks, and wheel the racks in here and just sit here and go through them really quickly and go, remember this. Because I've actually now had to take a big chunk out that are retiring and put them aside because otherwise I won't get through them all in any reasonable length of time. So I'm trying to rotate them, like songs in a playlist. But one thing I'm trying really hard not to do is to repeat myself, because I got an email this morning from a guy who said, Steve, have you ever watched, he actually said, have you ever watched one of your episodes, or have you ever listened to one of your podcasts? Have you ever done that? He goes, because you repeat yourself. And I thought to myself, wow. But then I thought, well, wait, how would I go about watching one of my videos? Or how would I listen to it? I mean, how would you even do that? I just assume that I make these videos and I put them out there, but I mean, seriously, I don't know. So there you have it. Again, like I said, I'm not going to number the episode. This is not an official Lato's Law in that sense, but I appreciate all of the correspondence. Keep the stuff coming. And if you have any questions, comments, or otherwise, at the end of the video, anything you want to mail me, as long as it's legal for the U.S. mails, P.O. Box at the end of the episode. It's kind of fun. I went at the post office today to mail something to somebody, and before I checked the P.O. Box, the postmaster walked out and she said, Steve, you got a bunch of stuff. Hang on. And she brought it over to me rather than making me go and try to pull it all out of the box. So, got to love the Postal Service. Questions, comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later.